And, a lot of these guys are, stepping up to the plate because they want to make a name for themselves. They don't live in a very good area, or, they want to better their lives. And this is a way for them to better themselves. If you're good at something, neutralize it, really. So, rather than go and get in crime on the streets and rather keep going back to jail, rather keep the police keep you in the system, we're giving these guys a chance to really better themselves and make something, a go of their lives. And for the first time in most of these lads' lives, they're getting a hand up, which this government shy on giving people.
Yeah, yeah, I can understand what you're trying to do, and I can, I kind of like give, you are doing really, really good job at Spartan, and well done for that. At least you're keeping the youngsters off the streets and not getting them into crime and everything, because at the moment, we there is a lot of crime going out there, especially with the youngsters and everything. When you started off Spartan, did you think it will go kind of like big? Because you were doing fights, you've been doing charity stuff as well. What's it like? What's it like to be
Well,
just to be you, just to be you?
to be me, um, I don't think anyone would want to be me someday, to be honest with you. But listen, it all jokes aside, I give these podcasts a lot, and I always say the same thing that if you go on the Facebook page and you go on my personal wall, you'll always see lads taking on the wall, thank you, you saved my life, you turned my life around, I've come to Preston in the gym, I'm not going to jail, and, really, they saved my life because, I'm just a street guy that created a company and had an idea,
Yeah,
to help people who, wouldn't normally get help or they're only good at one thing or, you know,
yeah.
it's not everybody's cup of tea. And it's not
No, it's not.
everybody's
No,
cup
it's
of tea
not.
to work
No, it's
or
not.
to
And
do.
before you started, Christian, before you started, before that, before kind of like basically change your life around and starting everybody else, you were a thug, weren't you?
I've crossed the line a few times, nothing worth bragging about. But listen, um, I think the easiest way to explain it is if you show me one person on earth that has done something not proud of in the past and says they haven't, I'll show you the liar.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Fine. Yeah, yeah. It's because a lot of people out there thinking, well, see, the trouble is everybody can change. We do this because we try to help people with mental health and help a lot of people. And I think, I look at your Facebook and everything, see what you're doing, and you're doing a really good job. And I put my hands up to you and say, well, you know, what really you should be given a knighthood, mate. What you've done, you
At
know
the end
what
of
I
the
mean?
day, at the end of the day, Steve, that's very, and I appreciate your comment. Um, but I ain't doing anything out of the ordinary, man. I'm just giving these guys a hand up, and I can open the door, but they've got to walk through it ultimately. And the stars of the show here, ain't the promoters. I can tell you now, these boys put their lives on the line. Let me tell you, and you know, anybody, no matter what arena you're stepping into, boxing ring, octagon, uh, the hay bales, but especially the hay bales and the Spartan style of fighting, which is knockout or being knocked out. To be getting into that pit every time, knowing one punch can change it all, and one of you is going to be carried out, that takes some courage, let me tell you.
Yeah, but don't you get paid for that, though?
They get paid handsomely for it, but still, with with anything with risk, it takes courage. It's the fear of the unknown. And these boys are stepping up to the plate and they're putting their lives on the line. They might be paid, they might not be paid, whatever they want to pay, but they're
Yeah, yeah.
still putting their lives on the line for the entertainment of others,
But
and that's
Christian,
what
but
my
Christian,
opinion is
before
that.
you have a fight with somebody in the ring, don't you think? Don't you know the person in advance, and you think, right, I'm going to watch some stuff about him, or I'm going to watch him, and see what he's like. I know someone called Paul Saunders, right? He was an MMA fighter. You know, I think he knocked somebody out in so many seconds as a ring. I don't know if you heard about him. You know, it's on there. He knocked somebody out. But the trouble is, so do you know really? Because you said just now you're stepping into the unknown. But surely to God, you got to know who you're fighting against.
No, no, you know who you fight against. When I say the fear of the unknown, what I mean is this: you're turning up to that boxing show and you're climbing into them hay bales, not knowing if you're going to walk out or be carried out.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
fear of the
yeah.
unknown.
And then also, it can really damage your life too, can it?
Of course it can, but so can smoking or crossing the road.
Yeah, yeah. But but what you're doing now is you're kind of like getting people off the street, helping them, and sort themselves out and everything. I'd rather they be in the gym than be on the streets committing crime.
There you go. I mean, and the ultimate thing is here. We've had on a couple of occasions people who've inboxed me on Facebook and said, "Listen, me and this lad are going to chop each other up if we see each other. So, is there any chance of jumping in the barrels and settling it up?" Listen, that's why we're here. If it stops one parent burying the child premature, that's a good thing, no?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. You're doing really, really good. Um, when you kind of like because you do boxing fundraisers too, don't you?
We raise money for certain charities that come along, and sometimes we reach out to for help. So, our guy Paul does all the charities, he's raised over 20 million over the years for charity. So, people reach out to us and we do auctions and stuff. We raise money for youngsters and things like that. But, we'll always try and help wherever we
Yeah, yeah. And how many people at the moment have you got going to your gym?
can. We don't have a set gym. All the fighters train themselves. But how many people are coming to the show? When we first had our first show, we had about 15 people. Um, on our last show at Cedar Court, we had 800 full house. And for Fight Fest, we're expecting about 1,800 people.
Gosh, well done, well done, well
So
done.
it's growing all the time, and long may that continue. We've made it legal now, licensed. We've made per view around the world on the big shows. So we're making stars out of these guys instead of putting them in jail. You know, they're no good to anybody. They're not reforming. So give them something they can reach. Give them something that they want to aim for. And they'll get up out of bed every morning and they'll be as good as a 9 to 5 office worker.
Yep, fair enough. Yeah. Um, how average is it for somebody to kind of like go into the ring? Do you when you kind of like get your fighters and what are they? What is the conditions they got to be? I know about fitness and stuff like that, but what do you look for in a fighter?
Well, I was asked a question on another podcast I won't go into, but we were asked a question on there that what makes the perfect pit fighter. Now, the top level fighters will will live the life. They'll eat, sleep, and train. They always want to better themselves. But they live the dream, man. We cater for all levels. It's Spartan, whether you're a beginner, whether you're amateur, a pro. We've got three bands here now. We cater for everybody. What do we look for in a fighter? We want someone who's got some ambition. We want somebody who wants to do something with it. We don't want somebody who's going to turn up and take the money.
Hmm.
We want someone who's going to actually work at it. They're going to market themselves. They're going to put themselves on the internet and get a fan base and promote the company and things like that. We want good people who are going to stand and fight. We're an island race. It's what we love to do.
Yeah, yeah. Um, do you kind of like down drugs? Do you ever get problems with your fighters about drugs and stuff?
We we are at the moment advancing. I've recently put a governing body in place called the World Pit Fight Association. Um, Next step was starting a test for hepatitis C. We've started a new company within a company now with Dan and Wilson, and that's called Safe, Safeguarding All Fighters' Eventualities. So that means we look after our own fans and our own fighters inside the pit and outside the pit. If they've got problems, we can hook them up with help in their area. We're really moving ground here with Darren Wilson as well because he's really putting it in. So we're introducing hepatitis C testing soon, and there'll be random blood tests at the shows as well to put a level playing field for everybody.
Yeah. Um, how many fights did you win again? I had it. I had the notes down. How many fights have you won?
How many fights? What
You've won. How many fights?
in my career?
Yeah.
9 or 10 gloves and won them.
Yeah. Did you get a buzz out of that then?
It's it's a completely different sport to what Spartan is. Glove
Right.
boxing is definitely not bare knuckle fighting. Bare knuckle pit fighting is so brutal. It's so fast and it's so vicious. Boxing is the longer rounds and it's a more of a skilled thing. I can assure you here, all you need in the pit is a really good chin and a really big punch to be able to put people to sleep, and you're going to go far. It's completely different code, completely different sport to boxing.
Yeah. No, I watch these people on these programs, these travelers, and they do a lot of what you call bare knuckle fighting, and and they, if and it's their way of dealing with things. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's less shit popping once you do it. So yeah, as long as there's fair play to it. You know, bare knuckle fighting originated will goes back a long way with the travelling community. They've always sorted the differences out that way. I think it's a good way to look at things sometimes because, again, it stops things escalating from knives and guns. And, this is a way you get two guys, one on one, good fair play, Joe. And there's nothing wrong with a good punch up and kill anyone.
Yeah, I like everything about you because you care about other people, and you're a sort of person like thinking, well, let's take away the knife crime and the ape crime and get rid of all that, and if you want to do something for yourself, let's do it either in the ring or let's kind of like, you know, do it in a
But let's
proper
all go
way.
home with our lives intact.
Yeah, well, that's what it's about, life, isn't it? It's no good going around like stabbing each other, is it?
No, I mean, the thing is, the sad thing is, um, I don't know how old you are, Steve, but I'm old enough to remember when if you turned up to a fight, you both had a dust up, you shook hands, and you got on with it. I'm old enough to remember that, and
Yeah,
that's gone. It's
yeah,
these kids now pulling fucking max out of everything, they're spraying each other with bullets, knives. You know, parents are burying children man, over the most trivial shit. So reach out to Spartan if you feel like communications are broke down and you're feeling like you're going to break the law of reaching for a weapon, contact us on Facebook. We'll raise a few quid. We'll put you in a controlled environment with a pro referee. You'll have a punch up, you'll have a pint, you'll have a laugh about it. But most importantly, you'll go home safety from it.
yeah, yeah. Well done. Yeah. Um, your fights. You've got a big charity event coming up. You've got a big fighting event coming up. Now, what's that about? Can you tell everybody about that?
It's called Fight Play. It's going to be the first year we've done it. It's going to be a festival that takes place every single year. Um, on this particular one we've got in June, we're having 40 fights in one day. That's 80 fighters ready to go. There's no other company in the UK can do that. Just us. So we're going to put something special on for the fans to celebrate the coming out of lockdown.
Yeah.
So 40 fights in one day. Fight Fest is born. It's going to be festival conditions. It's an outdoor event. The pit will be elevated in the middle of a big screen. Everyone will have a good time. There'll be food, there'll be beer, there'll be music, and a good time by viral.
And are there tickets still available?
Yeah, if you see any of the fighters on Spartan BK Fight Club on Facebook, find us on TikTok, find us on all social media platforms, find us anywhere. Um, have a look for the fight card pinned at the top of the group, and you see the fighters on there. Contact the fighter on there. They'll sell you a ticket. No problem.
Right. Okay. Really good. Really good. And what I want to do is I kind of like I would like to have you back sometime because I want to get deeper into what you're doing. All right. I don't get enough time today, but what I would love to do is book you. I'll get my wife to book you in if that's okay.
Good.
If I haven't put you off. And we're looking to deeper into yourself and what about the fighting business and everything else like that. But I've enjoyed kind of like talking to you. I've been looking forward to talking to you.
Thank you.
And it's I've got messages here. What we got here, right? Right, Christian, how are you? Have you ever done television?
I was on Touch Ringer not long ago with the governor. That was quite an experience. But yeah, it's quite a again.
Is it just Rinder you have done?
I was in the film as well. Lenny McQueen,
You
uh,
are.
the documentary one that was in the cinema, the live show, the live footage that they had, and that was filmed at my show, and I appeared in that a few times.
All right.
My son Jamie.
All right. Okay. There you go. Number two. Where can I buy tickets for your event? So there's people coming up.
Go to Spartan BK Fight Club on Facebook, the group, and join. Any of the fighters say one. Or you can
Yeah.
hit me up direct on Facebook on inbox, Christian Roberts.
Yeah. Yeah. Contact them directly, and he will sort your tickets out. Yeah. And how much are your tickets, by the way?
For Fight Fest, it's £50 a ticket, but it's an all day festival. Like I said, with 40 fights on, including 9 title fights, including a couple of world title fights.
Will you be fighting that day?
Absolutely not certain for
We can't get you in the ring then.
those. Who knows
No,
what the future holds?
we can't get you back in that ring then.
Who
No.
knows what the future holds? There's a couple of people I'd like to give a slap. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well done, thank you, Christian. Okay, so if you want to, don't forget, get your tickets. It's £50, and it's going to be a really, really good time, all day event. Wow. And also, if you want to contact Christian, it's Christian Roberts on Facebook, and it's Spartan. At the end of the day, he was right, really, wasn't he? It's like at the end of the day, why should you fight, on the streets and like knife crime and whatever? At the end of the day, just kind of like forget about the knives, forget about the hate crime. Just do it in the ring, I reckon, and everything will be safe. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching. Christian, thank you,
Always a pleasure. Speak soon, pal.
thank you.
Bye.
You've always like that, is he? Yeah. Seem to be on something. Um,